Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus is about to hit the screen in a few months, and if you know the Alien franchise, you'd know that the space stations in the Alien films are characters in their own right. Now, Alien Romulus has this space station called the Renaissance. I don't know what kind of revolutions it would bring to the franchise, but by the end of this video, you'd be sure that there's a lot more to the Renaissance than meets the eye. So without further ado, let's explore everything there is about Renaissance Station. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. What is Renaissance Station? Let's get one thing straight before I begin. The space station from Fede Alvarez's upcoming Alien movie is called Renaissance and not Romulus, and this was confirmed by the director himself. There were multiple rumors flying around that the space station is, in fact, called Romulus, but that does not mean Romulus is not important to the story. For starters, the name is in the title of the film. Now, Renaissance, the Weyland-Yutani owned ship, is actually divided into two parts. One is called Remus, and the other Romulus. Now, there's quite a bit of story behind the nomenclature, but I will get into it in just a bit. While Romulus is the newer facility on Renaissance, a lab, Remus seems to be an older facility. I have already established that the Renaissance Station is a Weyland-Yutani owned spaceship. As seen in the trailer, the space station revolves around this planet with a ring system, and it seems that the planet is a gas giant, much like the one shown in the game Alien Isolation, which is pretty much considered to be one of the best games in the Alien franchise. The space station itself is circular in design and seems to be revolving around its own axis, possibly as a means to stay in a stable orbit by maintaining a specific gravity. Now, I have already established that the station is divided into two parts, the older Remus and the newer Romulus. Now, these two men were actually brothers from Roman mythology. They fed on a mother she-wolf for sustenance, and that's how they gained their powers and abilities. Eventually, the two of them built Rome, but Romulus ended up killing his brother, and according to Fede Alvarez, this story is going to have a degree of influence on the film itself. Anyway, the Renaissance Station had, of course, been constructed before the events of Alien Romulus, which is set in the year 2142. I believe it is possible that it was built even before the events of the original Alien movie, which was set in the year 2122. Romulus and Remis. Now let's talk about the Romulus, the lab that gave the film its name. The Romulus lab is presumably the newest facility on the Renaissance and is essentially a lab that's dedicated to conducting rather illegal and super risky experiments on xenomorphs. If we are to believe the director, I mean, yeah, we do believe the director, there's no other way. Anyway, according to Mr. Alvarez, Romulus basically represents the newer pieces of technology that we saw in James Cameron's Aliens, and the Remis part depicts the much older tech, much like we got in Ridley Scott's Alien. Since Romulus is set between these two films, one can say that Fede Alvarez wanted to show both versions of tech without actually hampering the already convoluted timeline of the franchise. It is also possible that the Weyland-Yutani guys were playing with forces they did not fully understand, in this case, the black goo. You see, I am making this assumption because the facehuggers that we see in the trailer are not the usual kind. They are darker in color and have nails resembling those of humans. A giant metal door separates the Romulus lab from the rest of the station, and quite interestingly, the door has a brass inscription of the two brothers, Romulus and Remus, along with their wolf mommy. Like the station itself, the lab is also circular and has many stasis pods that contain smaller versions of aliens. Needless to say, Weyland-Yutani had gotten their hands on these creatures and did not stop for a moment to think about the consequences of their actions. As for the Remus section of the Renaissance, it seems that it has been abandoned for quite a while now. Although we do not know what purpose Remus served aboard the Renaissance, its corridors and interior resemble the OG Alien movie, and once the Romulus section was built, they abandoned Remus. However, it is fairly evident that the facehuggers and the Xenomorphs will escape from Romulus, and the survivors will have no choice but to go to Remus for survival, supply, and sustenance. If you'd notice, the amazing shot with Kaylee Spaney's character holding what looks like a pulse rifle was shot in the Remus section of the Renaissance. The fate of the Renaissance. Weyland-Yutani's knowledge of the aliens was limited until the events of Alien and Aliens. In Alien 3, which was set in the year 2179, the company had a bioweapons division that was intent on studying the alien species for weapons research. The research at the Romulus labs was likely very secret, known only to a select few in the company. A major focus of their research seemed to be facehuggers, possibly even a new breed of the creature. The facehuggers shown in the trailer are darker and have human-like nails, attacking and swarming swarms. The experiments at Romulus can also be linked to the black goo pathogen from the Prometheus movies. Now, whenever xenomorphs are involved, more often than not, the ship where they are present ends up getting blown to pieces. So what do you think is going to be the fate of the Renaissance? Of course, the Renaissance station faces an uncertain fate. The best way to ensure the alien threat is contained is usually destruction or letting it fall into orbit, and if history is considered a teacher, the Renaissance's future looks pretty grim. In fact, the trailer shows an explosion rocking the station, which sends the Corbell and 4 hurtling away in a massive fireball. Despite the chaos, it seems a small group of survivors is likely. Is there another ship approaching the Renaissance? In the Alien Romulus trailer, we see the Corbell and 4 ship approaching and docking with Renaissance Station, which is what triggers the events of the film. This small cargo ship, owned by Weyland-Yutani, carries a handful of young colonists, including siblings and possibly androids. Beneath the ship, a large orange container is secured by clamps, so I believe this is the cargo it carries. The name Corbell and 4 is painted on the starboard side of the ship's bow. The Roman 4 and numeric 4 indicate it's the 4th ship in the series. Like other ships in the Alien series, Corbellin is derived from a Joseph Conrad novel. In Nostromo, Padre Corbellin, a member of the large Corbellin family, resides in a remote South American town, and that's where the vessel Corbellin got its name from. Other ships in the series, like the USS Sulaco and the USCSS Patna, also borrow their names from Conrad's novels. The Weyland-Yutani logo next to Corbellin 4 shows the company's ownership, though it's unclear if they built it because, as you know, the USCSS Nostromo was built by Lockheed Martin. Additionally, the colonial marine ships use the USS prefix, so the Corbellin 4 is likely a simple transport ship with no weaponry. Director Fede Alvarez confirmed it carries about half a dozen young travelers, possibly siblings, both blood siblings and the surrogate kind. Apart from humans, it may also carry androids. The ship has an orange transport container clamped beneath it, likely for cargo. The Corbellin's front-facing docking port allows for the transfer of people and smaller cargo, while the orange storage container might be transferred separately. The ship's purpose for docking is unclear, perhaps for a routine supply run or to seek help. The passengers on board find themselves on the station and face peril as a xenomorph infestation spreads via facehuggers. The Corbellin 4's bridge, small and compact, fits its size. More like a cockpit, it likely only has a single seat for the pilot or captain. The front viewport offers a clear view of the surroundings. A corridor and air-sealed door connect the bridge to the rest of the ship. The bridge could potentially detach and function as a lifeboat in an emergency. Unlike the Nostromo, the Corbellin 4 might lack a mother interface room due to its smaller size. Ron Cobb's semiotic standard, developed for the original Alien movie, is a system of symbols used across commercial transstellar and heavy transport ships. Similar to maritime symbols used in the 20th century, these symbols have been in use since 2078, as seen on the Nostromo and Sevastopol stations in Alien Isolation. The Corbellin 4 follows this standard, with hazard/warning and bridge symbols visible near its bridge, confirming its identity. Additionally, the fate of the Corbellin 4 is uncertain, but clues are provided in the Alien Romulus trailer. 2 characters, a man and a woman, are on the bridge when a massive explosion from Renaissance Station jolts the ship to the side. If the ship isn't too damaged, the survivors might escape. However, another character is later seen wielding a pulse rifle on the station, indicating a separate group trying to get out. In line with the alien tradition of stowaways, one of the 2 survivors on the bridge could be face-hugged, with a chestburster soon to emerge. Is there any similar station in the franchise? Renaissance Station actually shares quite a few similarities with Sevastopol Station from the widely praised Alien Isolation game. Both stations faced alien infestations between the events of Alien and Aliens. Sevastopol met its end by falling into the orbit of the gas giant KG-348, which was caused by Amanda Ripley, daughter of Ellen Ripley. Now, we have made a video dedicated to the story of Amanda Ripley, her background, and her appearance in the game and beyond. I think you'd like it, so do check it out on the channel's Alien playlist. Director Fede Alvarez has shown appreciation for Alien Isolation and even included the art of Alien Isolation in the reading list he shared. Teaser image for Alien Romulus featured a save station straight out of the game, and a shot in the trailer shows a character dropping a red flare while running through a curved corridor, evoking the game's tense atmosphere. So yeah, that was all in this one. We also covered the Alien Romulus trailer and hunted for Easter eggs and hidden details, just like Ellen Ripley hunts the bloody biomechanical monsters. Do check it out and let me know what your opinion of the new movie is. Do you think it is going to be the Alien movie we deserve, or just another lackluster film about cinema's most iconic killing machine? And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.